10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yes, you are listening to Visionary Talk Radio with Reverend Bagan Tewa D'Lamb, Christ Consciousness right here. Listen, I feel like I just started this program. You know, sometimes that is how it is, right? Yes, as we're talking about our Father, our kingdom to come. You know, as the Bible says, and also the kingdom is at it, and man do not see that kingdom, you know. So, you know, we have to understand what is that kingdom is all about, what the life of Christ is all about. You know, we can talk and talk and talk, but if we don't exercise that Christ within you, if you don't exercise the God within you, as the Bible says, God is within you. And that is why Christ said, there is nothing greater in the world that which is in you. There's nothing greater. There's nothing greater than you. And I keep on saying it over and over. You know, that's why the Bible let us know, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how thou was cut down to the ground. Isn't that beautiful? And how Satan get cut down to the ground. Listen, I know people say to me all the time, Rev, why don't you preach some words about success and things like that? I say, I do, you just don't listen. They say, Rev, why don't you try to preach a sermon of money? And you can, you know, probably come out of certain predicament in your life. You can have a big church like T.D. Jakes and all of these people. I said, I do. You know, some people come to me and say, Rev, you know, we need to pray for people more and more. I say, I do. You see, you got to understand this prayer, this Bible that I preach in love, that I give to my people. But we are so accustomed that people, you know, talking about wealth and all of these things, and that sometimes you don't see the importance of the soul. We don't see that importance. We miss it. We miss the soul. We don't understand how saving the soul is important, and that is the victory for God. You can win all the money, you can get all the money, you can do all of that, but if your soul is not being saved, then what good is that money? If you are doing evil thing, what good will be to that money that you are doing, that you are giving to you? You see, we got to understand. So that is why for me, and I know the Bible taught us these things, saving the soul. It's all about that. You know, it's all about that. So again, we're going to talk about the victory, the war, the spiritual warfare against our people. That is what we're going to talk about today. And we don't understand the war. We don't understand the victory that God is given to us. We don't understand it. Really and truly, we don't understand that war, that spiritual warfare against God's children. But I think it's a time that we live now, we're going to understand it. You see, some people believe that is imagination, a world that is make-believe outside there. That these things cannot happen to us as a people. That is a make-believe world of evil. But meantime, we are seeing destruction of human beings. We are seeing poverty in the world that is beyond our imagination. We're seeing these things. So it's beyond our imagination. We say to ourselves, but it's a reality that go on, the war against our people. Listen, I say it and I will say it again. If someone is dangling food in front of you when you are hungry, that person is putting a war on you. You just don't understand it. That is war, my people. It's an act of war. And we see it all the time in our community. Our people always have to go on lines and wait for food and all of these things. We see it. For many reasons, some people, we can say they are lazy to get up. Many people are lazy to get up to do for self. But we have to ask this question, what is making us so lazy to do for self? Why we find it so difficult to do for self? Where is all this wickedness coming from? It's like if the people stop dreaming. It's like if we stop having faith in God and hope in God. that we just sit by the side and figure the things going to happen just by itself. And I always say to you, things do not happen by itself unless we make it happen. And before I continue again, let me say to all my fans and family outside there, like I always say, this program is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. If you married to the perfect husband, if you have the perfect wife, you have the perfect children, the best of education, well, this program is not for you. You can sit in, but it's not for you. This program, like I always say to you, is for people who want to rise, who want to culminate, who want to find the truth in life. This program is for you. If you want to come from the slums and the ghetto and you don't know how to do it, this program is for you. If you are lost in some way, in the vanities of things, this program is for you. If you want to find your way to God, this program is for you. So, but it's not for everyone. So when we start to talk now, I can say some people, I can say the people. You will know I'm not talking to you, because some people just sit by and waiting that you say something wrong so they can say, look, you see what he's saying is so wrong. They're waiting for you to fall. They're waiting for you to slip. This is a sign of the devil. They will come on the station and wait for you to slip and fall with the words of God. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. This is the voice of God. You will not get it anywhere else. You will not find God in a street corner. You will not find God in some parlor. You will not find God in a store. But you will find God right here, because this is the words of God. That is what the Bible says. That is what the Bible says. Teach the gospel to the ends of the world. And that is what I'm doing right now. This is the words of God. And it's coming from the word, and it's coming from his mouth. You got to understand that every word, we must be truthful to it. And our people, when we are in poverty, when we are in living a certain lifestyle, and we cannot see the best of life, we do not see the progress in life, we turn against one another because we are not looking in the right place to see where is all this is coming from. The devil is dangling your food in front of you, your spiritual food, your food to eat every day is dangling these things in you, in front of you. Yes, this is what we must understand. So it's a spiritual war against you. Why do you think brothers are fighting brothers and sisters are fighting sisters on the internet? Why do you think? Because it's a spiritual war. That is what the devil wants you to do. Fight one another. So you will never focus on the truth. You will never focus on God himself. The devil wants you to focus on every other thing except God. That is what it's about. And that is why I call it a new plantation. There where we go and fight one another, ridicule one another. That is what we do. We got this discrepancy with understanding. Because the word of God is not there yet, but it's going to reach you one day. It's not there in your soul. It's not there in your mind yet. It's going to be one day in your mind, in your soul. The words of God is everything. It's a spiritual war. That's why he said, worship me in truth and in spirit. That is what he said to us. Worship him in truth and in spirit. As we do, and we're going to always worship our Lord in the truth and in spirit. We're going to wake up with that truth upon us. We're going to wake up with glory feeling. We're going to wake up with a victory. Once you come into the mind of God, once you come into the presence of God, you're going to be waking with a new spirit. That is what the devil don't want you to get. The devil wants you to have a stale spirit, a rotten spirit of cheating and lying and stealing, backbiting one another. That is what the devil wants you to do. But when you come into God, when you come into God, there will be a new spirit waiting for you. What is that new spirit? That new spirit is the spirit of truth, the spirit of love, the spirit of reality. That is the new spirit, that is the new clothes that God is giving to you. Do not lie to one another, do not steal from one another. Respect your mother and your father, that your days will be longer. That is what it's all about. That is the new spirit. You don't have to backbite your brother. You don't have to tongue lash your brother. You don't have to use gossip to bring one another down. This is a new spirit. This is a new day in God. So when the enemy talk about you, when he speaks about you, leave him alone. Let him talk and let him talk and let him talk. Because all that talk is cheap. Let the devil talk. But if you follow and you go into the talk and try to exchange conversation with the devil, he will lead you astray. Stay on your words of God. That is what we gotta do. We're talking about poverty today. We're talking about warfare against our people. Look around. Everything that you do is against you. Everywhere you go, there's a Satan waiting to have a conversation to take you away from your God. This is what our people must realize. It's a war. You go to the school, you cannot talk about your God, or you feel very uncomfortable. You go to the workplace, you cannot talk about God with anyone, you feel uncomfortable. When you go to the courtroom, you got to leave God out. But in their courtroom, they say, God, we trust. I don't understand that. But yet they don't respect you when you talk about God. On their money will say, God, bless you, bless, 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 bless. But they don't want you to talk about God. Go see, or just go on the internet, look in the courtroom and see, God bless us. We got to understand on a scale for judgment. But still they don't want you to be righteous. We got to ask ourselves, what world Satan have prepared for you? Waiting for you to slip and fall. So some people, every time I come, they are waiting for me to make a mistake. They are waiting for me to slip and fall. It's not going to happen. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do, Africans around the world? Now, I'm going to say it. The devil have all kind of games for you to play. And for you to play with one another. When I see brothers and sisters are grappling for truth, for identity, we are suffering from identity. The black man today still don't know who he is. He still don't know. He still don't have an idea. You see, that is why some people outside there are grappling with the truth of God. Because we are looking here and we are searching there for God. Like I tell brothers yesterday, and I will say it again, we are searching for identity because we are lost. That is why they can name you all different names. And you can say yes. Why? Why can we say yes to these things that we don't know? A long time ago, they call you African, they call you black, they call you black Spanish, they call you African American, they call you Caribbean, they call you West Indian, they call you Trinidadian, they call you Jamaicans, they call you Barbadian, they call you Antiguans, they call you Grenadians, they call you all different names. They call you Baptists, they call you Seventh-day Adventists, they call you Catholics, they call you Methodists, they call you all these names, they call you Hebrew, Israelite, they call you all these names. And all of these names we bowing without we knowing. We saying yes without we knowing the truth. You see, that is what we're going. We are searching for identity, for self. And once you keep on searching for your identity, you'll always be in conflict. We'll always be in discrepancy. Yes, That is why it gets so much of contorted minds outside there. We are searching. That is what the devil have you searching for yourself. So they say to you, a Catholic, you said yes. They say to you, you are Methodist, you said yes. They say you are 7 Days Adventist, you say yes. And so on and so on and so on. You say yes to everything. You see, when are we going to wake up? When are we going to see the Lord ourselves? Listen, I say to you, the best experience is to know God. Regardless of all these names that they may call you, there is not one person, not one African on this continent of this side of the world, in the West Indies, in America, in London and Canada, not one African can look at me in the face and say, I am sure I'm a Catholic. You don't know. It's simple to know. Open your Bible and say, we are the children of God. Isn't that beautiful? If you don't believe nothing else, believe you are a child of God. Because you are righteous. Righteousness will tell us who we are. Don't let it go. And no matter who say what, if they come in at you this way, you keep holding on to your God. And they tell you you are this, keep holding on to the God. If they swing left, you stay with your God. If they swing right, you stay with your God. If they go backwards, you stay with your God. If you go forward, you keep holding on to your God. If they go in Mars and Venus, you hold on to your God. Keep holding on to God, no matter what direction they lead you into. If they lead you into the pits of hell, hold on to your God, because that is what you are, children of God. No matter what direction they pull you into, never give up your Emmanuel. That is why I say to you, the most precious name you could call is Emmanuel. Because when you call upon his name, you calling upon yourself also. That is what is it? You calling upon the greatness within you. When you say Emmanuel, Emmanuel means God with you. You are calling upon yourself. You are calling upon your generation and generation. Same God in you, same God in me. That is what we got to wake up. That is what we got to call. And like I say to you, and I will keep on saying like I say to you, because I always said, where there is no God, don't go. If there is no God in that church, don't go to that church. If God is not in the school, don't go to that school. If God is not, wherever he is not, do not go. If there is no God in that relationship, do not go into that relationship. Because that relationship will sink you in the bottomless pit. Yes, it will sink you forever and forever. That is why people fall in love with the wrong people. They fall in love with vanity and it lead them in the pits of hell. They fall in love with the wrong people and the wrong things. Because you did not stick to God. When they pull you to the left, you went to the left without God. And you did not return. And when they pull you to the right, you went to the right and you didn't have no God there. So you get stuck. And when you slip and you fall into hell, there was no God to lift you up back. Stand on your projection. Stand on that. Love your God. It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing to understand, and it's a simple thing to do. Respect one another. But you cannot do that if you don't respect yourself. But what they should have teach you is the love. The love. That is what they should have teach you first, the love. But because you don't know the love, even when you see the love, you don't even know it. That is what they should have teach you first. Why am I saying that? Let me ask you a question outside there. You ever seen a little child who is happy, kick anyone or punch anyone? A little child, let's take a little child. You ever seen a little child that is happy and kick anyone? No, you don't ever see it. But a little child who are forced to eat this or do this, always sad. These are the children sometimes turned out to be bullies. Because all our life you force them to do good. And when a little child cannot cope with it, that little child rebel. But the child who is happy never kick no one. The child who is happy never steal from no one. Because he's singing the song and he's dancing in the street, he's happy. But the one who is not happy, he's looking to do something so he can validate that thing within him as a human being. So that is why I say let us teach you love. Because once you teach your love to the world will never be a place as it used to be. Why do you think countries go around conquering other countries even today? Someone said to me a couple of months ago, well, we're living in the greatest world. We're living in a place that is perfect. They don't go into other people's country and kill people. Soldiers don't go into other. That is what the person was saying to me. And I turned to say, we was talking about the Europeans. And the world is better. That is what he is saying. So I turned and I said to him, listen, conquer what? Fight what? They have conquered all the nation. Where do you want them to go again? They went to Africa and conquered Africa. They went to Switzerland, all over the world and conquered. Where do you want them to go again? The person didn't say anything because they realized they was talking foolishness. You understand? So that is why I say to you, let's teach love to the children. But how can you teach something that you don't know of? What are you going to teach them? You see, the devil is very clever. What I'm saying is this to you. The devil will tell you what is love. He'll always try to tell you what is love. And he always will tell you what is love. What do you feel? That is how we'll describe love to you. What you feel is love. And if you feel is right, do it. If you feel asleep with a man and you a man, you feel good, you do it. If you is a woman and you feel to sleep with a woman, well then you do it. If you feel a thief and rob and steal, once they don't catch you, once they don't caught up to you, well then do it. This is the nature of the devil. This is the nature of the devil. If you feel good, you do it. That is not God. And that is what the world today see as love. If you're a man and you feel to make love with a man, go out and do it, it feel good, well then it's got to be right. If you're a woman and you see another woman and you like that woman, you're attracted to that woman, you can go and make love to her, well that is and you do it, then that is right. That can never be right, people. It can never be right. That is what the devil have to give to you. That is what the devil have to offer to you. Put you in the pits of mud. Put you in the pits of hell. But we know God have nothing to do with that. God want nothing to do with that. That's like that's like saying, listen, I feel to cut myself with a knife and you cut yourself with a knife. Go out and do it if it feels good to you. That's like seeing someone over standing in the corner and you feel a wickedness come over you and you feel, well, I'm going to do that person, take a knife and kill this person. Well, do it because it feels good to you. That is the devil teaching. But God's kingdom is not like that. What is God's kingdom? Do unto others as you wish to do to you. That is the kingdom. Don't do no wrong to no one. If you cannot take it, don't do it. If you feel that you can box someone in the face, well, and it cannot happen to you, don't do it. Don't do it. Do what is right by God. Live in harmony with one another. Respect your brother and sister. You see, the devil have two worlds going for him. It's just you don't recognize it. The devil give you law, and then he tell you if it feel good, do to it. Once it don't catch up to you, you can go on and live in a sinful life. And once they get you, what do? Lock you behind the bars. Lock you away and throw away the keys. That is Lucifer, the devil. From day one, God said to us, don't do this. Whatever you do, Adam, don't eat of this tree. Tell him from day one. Didn't wait for him to make a mistake and say, Adam, don't do it. He said, Adam, whatever you do, don't eat of this tree. He said to the woman, Adam and Eve the same way. They both know the knowledge, don't eat of the tree. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. It's called obedience. You understand? That is the love that God was giving to Adam and Eve. What was that? What is that? What is said to be obedience to what? The words. And when Lucifer came, what did Lucifer say? Eve, God don't know what he's talking about. God don't know. You will surely not die. And what did she do? She believed. She believed Satan that she will not die. That is what Eve believed. And when she take it and give it to her husband, he believed it. He eat of it. We mean to say he accepted the devil words. What has happened? The words, that is what they're talking about. The words of God. It's the words that is planted in their mind, in their hearts now. Once you believe in me, that means to say my words is planted in you. It's the words of being disobedient to the love. That is what Eve was doing. She was being disobedient. She was listening to the devil like most of us do. We love to listen to the devil even though we know the truth about life. I'm going to say it again. Many of us know the truth about life. But because we fall in lust in the world and greed, you see, the seed of greed is planted in the minds of the people. It's all about taking, it's all about eating, it's all about give me this. Even though you have something better, you still want something else. That is greed. That is a seed of greed that many people have in their minds. You understand what I'm talking, but I'm going somewhere with you. You just have to follow me. So we see in the seed that Satan have planted of greed in the minds of the people. Give it to me. Give it to me. Listen, I learned something about greedy people. You see, greedy people always want more and more and more. They can have this, they will want that. It's something about greedy people. Greedy people always end up in drugs because they want everything. They want to see how this works. They want this, they want that, they want that. It means you're a greedy person.